Golden Age collection, that's not something you see every day. What's going on, everybody? Another day, another collection, and I had picked up a long box and change of some Golden Age back issues. There's a lot of, Looney Tunes and Walt Disney's in there, but there's some superhero books and there's some Westerns, some pretty cool stuff they don't see every day. And I was very excited. I actually was given a contact from somebody who found an ad in a newspaper. And they were selling just over 120 books for, I think it was $40, I believe is what I paid for the lot. And I mean, right then and there, you can't go wrong. Even if all these had pop staples and I spent $40 just to flip through some comics, you can't go wrong. And there was some sleeper books in there, For the most part, I think everything's attached. There's a lot of low-grade books, a couple of mid-grade books. Not many, pretty much everything in the lot was low-grade. There's some nice stuff in there. I think nearly everything is complete. There's a couple comics with some, chipping or a couple chunks of the cover missing. But overall, pretty good lot. And let's jump right into it. All right, jumping in the box. First book we got up is a Mighty Mouse 15. I love these old Mighty Mouse covers. Arguably an early superhero. Not really early, but he's back there. Howdy Doody number 6, bit of a controversial cover. Buster Bunny number 4, doing some target practicing. It's one of those non-Western gun covers guys like to collect. There's a Porky Pig. I love this cover with the blue, the yellow. I think the older Golden Age books used the blue and the yellows and the greens and the purples because they had to use all the ink they bought in bulk. I think it looks nice. It really pops. Something you miss with modern comics. This is the space issue from Porky the Pig. It's actually one of the better copies in the bunch. And really one of the more expensive. This old space covers. It's not one of the better copies of the bunch, but still a cool book. Some more Looney Tunes. Some Heckle and Jekyll action going on here. Super Mouse, the Big Cheese. He's one of the Mighty Mouse knockoffs, and you can't go wrong with the Big Cheese. Red Rabbit comics. We got some of this Donald Duck issues. Some antics with him and his nephews. You can't go wrong. There's a couple of classic issues from this run. This is number 300 there. But we got like a gun cover. Land of the Totem Poles is a classic issue. It's a low-grade copy, but you can't go wrong. Donald Duck in Ancient Persia is another classic cover. Moving on to the new funnies. Hey, man, look. The low grades are always better than the no grades. I really can't complain, especially for what I'm into these books. I cannot complain. Moving into Andy Panda, and one of these blue covers with some yellow. We got some ghosts popping out of some treasure. We got a smoking cover. Oswald the Rabbit leading into Woody the Woodpecker having a little standoff. Some more Woody the Woodpecker. Mickey Mouse and some Pluto. Bondage cover of Mickey and the Raja's Treasure. That's 36. Will Not Be It. 4-color Walt Disney. Got a little goofy. Another goofy issue here. With the Black Sorcerer. Got a crease through it, but still a cool book. Some more Mighty Mouse down there. And on to some DC books. We got some DC superheroes coming up. Before them, we got Funny Folks. Low grade copy. And some funny stuff issues. And then moving on to Uncle Scrooge. We got no real keys in here, but still some cool issues. Gonna wash the money out. The Ducky albums. Goofy comics is something I really know nothing about. So if you do, let me know down in the comments because I've never seen this before. Little Iodine I have seen. And then some more Mighty Mouse. Another great space cover here. I love these old Mighty Mouse covers. And again, they used the ink they had as a bondage cover. Used the ink they had to fill out the backgrounds. You don't really get that with modern comics these days. Gun cover there. But that was always a cool thing. That's why I like the Beast turned blue and the Hulk turned green. Just because they had to buy ink in such big bulk. And moving on. Archie's Super Duck. It's a cool little book. Barnyard Comics number 30. That is, that's a comic. That's what that is. This is a timely superhero, Super Rabbit book. This is one you don't see this one too often. It's a little sleeper issue in there. Got some Pogo Possums. Moving on to our Westerns, we've got Bronco Bill, Little Beaver, the Cisco Kid 2 and 3. Sadly, there's some tape on 2. No number 1 in there, but some of these could probably use a press and clean, but most of them I'd be afraid that there'd be some worse chipping or would get attached. Most of them are just kind of low grades. They are what they are. I love this Barbie cover with the silhouette through the fire. Well, yeah, a lot of these they are what they are, and for what I'm into them, can't complain. Another one of these gun covers, but it's a Western, so, like, that's kind of as expected. And Red Ryder, Jesse James is one of the more infamous and iconic Westerns back in the day. Sadly, it's a little bit chewed out, but Jesse James #1 is still cool to pick up. Tom Mix Western and The Lone Ranger, the greatest Western, both talking about the show and probably the comics. Well, I've not read too many of the Lone Ranger comics. Maybe a little bit of silver on our covers here. And then we got Straight Arrow, Indian Tribes at War. It's number 6 out of the run. It's a cool book. Will Rogers Comics. I'm not as big as a fan of the photo covers as I am the original artwork, but it's still cool to see. We got a Bugs Bunny in here, another one of those controversial issues. It's in Indian trouble, as they say. We got a bit of Fawcett superheroes. We're jumping into superhero stuff. This is a Marvel Family number 46. It's a coverless copy, but it's still a great book. And then the 47 stole some Connor's Comics colors. And it's got like an Adam Strange vibe to it. It's awesome aliens, this beautiful purple background. It's a low grade, but it's still a beautiful book that presents well. The colors still pop. There's another beautiful book. It's a low grade, but it still presents well. Number 51 for the Marvel Family. It's got that like doll man vibe to it. It is a very, very cool book. Jumping over to Captain Marvel 103. It's got a pop staple. Pretty nasty spine roll, but still, yeah, how can you complain? And then we got a 104 here. I believe this is first appearance, but I got to do my research. I probably should have before the recording. We got Mr. 20 down here. And then our DC superheroes. We got Superboy number 36. Just under the wires, one of the last. Not really one of the last, but, you know, a year or two before the Golden Age would end. Superboy brought Lana home, and she's got some news for you, buddy. And we got World's Finest number 48. Sadly, it's split, but it is still a very cool book. We got Batman and Superman changing a person's tire. Something you really never see. And Robin being about as helpful as he can. But it's cool. It's got a Green Arrow backup. And it's got a Joker story in there from 1950. So you can't go wrong. And then arguably the coolest book in this box is this Ghost Rider number 3. Sadly, it is a low grade like much of the other books in this lot, but it is still an awesome cover and a very, very tough book to find. Before we jump into the best book of the lot, let's look at, we have a couple more low grade beaters in here. I actually have a first Zorro I got in this lot, but I do not know where I put it. I misplaced it. It would have otherwise been a beautiful copy if it weren't for the fact that there's like a mouse had gotten to like about that much of the book and been bitten out of it, which is a very huge shame because Margaret Zorro, I mean, that is an iconic book and probably one of my favorite Golden Age keys. But, you know, again, having the book is better than not having the book at all. I will take a low grade all day. We got all these Looney Tunes, some Tom and Jerry comics, another Mighty Mouse cover, some Bugs Bunnies, Bugs Bunny being Bugs Bunny, some Donald Ducks. And, yeah, these are, like, in magazine bags boards because I couldn't find the rest of my Golden Age bags, so I threw them in them. And some of the ones with the spine rolls or the thicker issues just fit better. But out of, I believe, what was it, 120-ish books, a little bit over 120 books in a lot. Not too bad. And the best one was this Mystic Tales number 5. It is a early post-code horror title from Atlas, and it's just such a beautiful cover. Literally, when I found this in the box, I didn't know this was in there. And when I found it, I was ecstatic because this is an awesome, awesome old horror key from the Golden Age. And you can't go wrong. This is just such a classic cover. Yeah, it is still attached. I might grade it just to keep it preserved. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't want them to pop the staple on it because the top staple is sort of hanging on by a thread to the back cover there. But we'll see. I'll think about it. We'll see what happens. It's still a beautiful comic nonetheless. All right, not a bad haul considering all in all. What am I, a third of $1 in each of these books, and you can't go wrong. I got a couple minor keys, a little postcode horror book from Atlas. I know that Porky Pig space cover is awesome. A couple other cool Porky Pigs. I love Muddy Mouse. The Captain Marvels. Those are very, very cool books. Couple 50s DC keys, minor keys, not really keys per se, but just some run fillers. You can't go wrong. And yeah, again, considering what I'm into them, I'm very, very happy with what I got here. Like I said, almost all these books are complete. A couple books I might grade just to preserve. There's actually maybe 4 or 5 mid-grade copies that might be worth sending in just for, shits and giggles. But if you enjoyed, I hope you did. Follow me here and on Facebook and Instagram for more daily content. And join the Facebook group, Fandoms Unleashed, for an inside scoop of Kindness Comics, behind-the-scenes look, and endless great discussions. And I will catch you all on the next one.